Hello everybody, Animation 4 here, and we are in Minecraft Vanilla right now, setting up a little trap with some pistons. I'm going to try to use it to catch a creeper in a box. Run through, jump over the tripwire, marked by this little pink wall, and the creeper will fall in after. So let's wait for night and give it a go. Okay, there's a creeper. Let's get him to follow me. Move on. The wall was close to me. You. How? So anyway, I am here in a creative world right now with a nifty little redstone device I made. So I just hit this button. You can see the signals on the side. And wait. And I got a map. Oh, what do you know? It's the Ace of Clubs. That's pretty nifty. Let's push it again. Oh, this time it's the Queen of Hearts. She made some tarts, you know. And it's just giving me a map. That's saying done. So, let's go look at the wiring of it. Just so you know, this does nothing. This was purely decoration. So, you hit the button. The signal travels down here. All the way down here. Oh, and I got the King of Clubs. And it doesn't split, it goes this way. And here it splits. One of them goes this way, goes underneath these hoppers, and deactivates the power to them. The other one comes down here. Oh yeah, also goes this way. Powers the droppers, which have button or some other item and a sword. If they pass in the sword, then the comparator output is 2, and it reaches here. These have a sword in it. These don't. So these reach, and it sends the signal all the way down the line, way off into the distance. If it doesn't, then it doesn't get sent, the signal doesn't change, and yeah. So what happens now? The signals line up, and one of these turns off, because it matches exactly what it should. All of these turn off. So these are basically giant AND gates. And it comes over to these little devices, which I'll talk about. And that's all this. It turns to one output and goes here. And then you get maps. The maps are they just give you different numbers. And I have all the maps in these chests. They all have face on them. But also, something special about this device is it acts as a deck of cards, so you can't get the same card more than once. If you look along the side, some of these torches are still on. Look at this one. Gives you map number 37. That's the first map I have. Oh, this one's 37. If you go further down the line, here's 2 right here. Back to back. You get 13, you got 12. What are the maps? 12 and 13. So these signals stay on once they're turned on. But what else this thing has to do is realize that if you already have the card, it can't tell if one of these turns on. It can only tell if a signal's been received that it wasn't turned on already. So what happens is, in these little devices, I think I made them over here. What happens? The signal gets received, and this torch turns on. This torch turns off. Then 2 ticks later, this gets turned on. This gets turned off. That's backwards. This torch gets turned off. 2 ticks later, that one gets turned off. That one gets turned on. So this turns off and back on pretty fast. 2 ticks. That gives this a 2-tick pulse to send output. Where is this getting its signal from? Oh, I need blocks on top. But these are RS NOR latches. So once this turns on, it feeds back into it. So this gets powered, this gets unpowered, and it goes up. So it saves the last state. Oh, I'll cut some of this out. I forgot to mention, this down here should be powered, because this is the reset right here. And once this gets unpowered, all these torches turn on, and the state gets changed so that these are off. So now this is depowered, which would power the torch. So if this one gets pulled again, no signal gets sent. This one gets pulled, you can see the torch up there, it pulses. But if it gets pulled again, oh, I didn't see it. If it gets pulled again, it doesn't pulse. So eventually, if you hit this a few more times, you'll see the signal won't get sent. Or you can see it gets sent that time. If you pull it enough times, you'll see the signal won't get sent. Then you come over to this device over here. So what happens, you push the button, it sends a signal here to this NOR latch, changing it to this side state, which means that the signal has not been received, and starts this pretty long timer. When a signal gets received, it comes in here, and switches the NOR latch back, saves that you have gotten a card, and powers this. And just so you know, this timer is timing an anti-pulse, so the repeaters turn off in a row. So if this is off, and this is off, which means you haven't gotten a signal, this gets depowered, this torch turns on, and it goes back in as if you push the button. Again, this is also important because there are 52 cards in the deck, and I have a 6-bit output here. 6-bit means 64 possible numbers, so anything from 53 to 64 can't be processed. So this will actually happen a few times if the number is too large. Did I press it? I might not have pressed it. Yes, I did. You can see the input signal. This does not get powered. Even if I clear my inventory, it still remembers what card you have. Oh, doesn't look like there's a signal. There we go. See, this torch turned on. The timer gets resent. This time I did get a confirmation signal, and it does say done. That's what this is. When this is powered, and this is powered, which means you did get a signal, and the timer is done, then it will say done. So if you were to plug this into Redstone devices, you could get some kind of output. And just so you know, these command blocks, I don't even use that one. These command blocks are not necessary for this device. It uses entirely redstone, repeaters, torches, blocks, hoppers, droppers, and some basic items. So you could make this in survival. Probably not this massive, but and you could be able to use these command blocks here, but you could still have some like droppers or something for some kind of output. You could use it to play all kinds of games, like I was planning on doing a poker game, except there's no way of spawning item frames with items in them. All you can do is spawn blank frames. I've been trying. Yeah, this here, you can only spawn the regular item. Can't spawn the frame in it. Can't spawn the item in it. And there's no way to putting the item inside, so if you did want to do this, you need to have like a dealer that would put it on. Yeah, but you can make all kinds of games like this. I was building this device right here, which what it does is it can take the output that you get, see it turns on the torch, it can take that and decide what to do with it to make it tileable. So what I have here is a little device, entirely tileable within 2, so you need a space in between so it matches perfectly. And you'd have these levers. When you turn the power on to it, when you want that to be the output you want, like if you want to give a card to a certain player, like say this was player 3 or something, you'd turn this power on, and then next time a card is received, it would send it to player 3, because this would get powered. See, this is 4, 5, 6, but this one would not. And it's a monostable circuit with 2 pulses. Depowers the torch, and there's a little AND gate here. So if this is powered, turns the torch off, and if this is depowered, meaning that torch flicked off, which means you just sent a signal, both of these get depowered, torch turns on, and you get the command block output. And since this, you can put a half slab here, so you can actually get more outputs from this. You can put something underneath. I cannot aim right now. You can get one going here. I think I counted, you can get a lot of outputs. You can diagonal down. You can get a bunch of command blocks working on one pulse. I don't think this one's going to do anything, but yeah. You can get one, not here, or here. This one won't work either. But yeah, you can stretch this as long as you want to go, because there's repeaters here. It's tileable. All you need is the wire in between to send the signal across. So you can choose what you want to do with the output, whatever output you want, non-repeating. And the last thing is just this over here, not very important, but there's this last line down here. It'll only send cards if this line is powered. Because I was having problems with hoppers taking items, or putting items back into the droppers and it being sent back out. It would send ticks of invalid numbers, and you could get 5 cards in a row. So what I do is I just turn off this line. This turns all the torches on, and then a few ticks later I turn that line back on, so only when it's done will you be able to see what happens. If I set the time to night, darker, nice and dark, you should actually be able to see the signals being sent down. You can see that one, you can see that one going a little later. Doesn't look like a signal's being received, so it's trying again. Again, a signal isn't received. Here we are. We got 3 of diamonds. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. You can increase the amount of hoppers here too. Get bigger numbers, get smaller numbers, but you always have to have, unless you're dealing with an exact power of 2, like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, you're going to need to have this case, or if you want to have non-repeating, you're going to need to have this over here. Just a timer, RS no latch, and some kind of return signal to say that it's confirmed. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.